Hi, my name is Abby, and today we'll be talking about black holes. To start, in December of 1915 during World War I, Albert Einstein sent his colleague Karl Schwarzschild a detailed report that would later become some of the most significant work of the 20th century. Karl Schwarzschild wrote back within a few days describing the first known solutions to Einstein's field equations, although less than a year later, Schwarzschild died from a skin disease, adding him to the millions of fatalities due to disease in World War I. However, Karl Schwarzschild left behind a solution that completely described how space-time is warped outside a spherical object, such as a planet or a star. This mathematical solution states that for a very compact, high-density star, it becomes much harder to escape the gravitational field of that star. And eventually, there's a point where every particle, even light, becomes gravitationally trapped. This point of no escape is called the event horizon. As one approaches the event horizon, time slows to a complete standstill, and it was because of this that early physicists often called them frozen stars. Today, we know them as black holes, a name first used in 1967. The world's leading experts in general relativity were absolutely convinced that black holes could never actually exist in reality. Even 50 years after Schwarzschild's landmark paper, there was still no consensus on the existence of black holes. One thing was clear: if black holes did exist, they were most likely formed by the collapse of massive stars unable to support their own weight after running out of nuclear fuel. After Einstein and Schwarzschild made their first field equations for black holes, it took nearly a half-century before the next black hole solution was discovered by Roy Kerr in 1963. Kerr's solution was that he believed that black holes spun. He also stated that they retained momentum from the pre-supernova star from which they were made. The evidence for the spin theory is shown in how black holes pull everything around the horizon, essentially sweeping up space-time itself into a swirling vortex. The most common way black holes form is stellar death, when a large star about 8 to 10 times the mass of the sun reaches the end of its cycle. Once the star's fuel supply is exhausted, the star implodes, causing the outer shell to explode in a supernova. A supernova is the biggest explosion that humans have ever seen. Each blast is extremely bright and super powerful. There are 6 main parts of a black hole. Firstly is the singularity, and the singularity is the very center of the black hole where matter has collapsed into a region of infinite density. Second is the event horizon. This is the radius around the singularity where matter and energy cannot escape the black hole's gravity. Third is the photon sphere. This is when photons that are emitted from nearby hot plasma in jets or an accretion disk. Fourth is the relativistic jets. This is when a black hole feeds on stars, gas, or dust, and this meal produces jets of fuel and particles and radiation blasting out from the black hole's poles at nearly the speed of light. The fifth part is the innermost stable orbit, which is the inner edge of the accretion disk, which is the last place that materials can orbit safely without the risk of falling past the point of no return. Last is the accretion disk, which is a disk of superheated gas and dust that whirls around a black hole at immense speed, producing electromagnetic radiation that reveals the black hole's location. Any object can potentially be made into a black hole by squeezing it into a tiny enough volume. However, Einstein's theory states that the object's mass and gravity remain behind in the form of an extreme distortion of space and time around it. This distortion is the black hole. A black hole is the darkest black in the universe. No matter how powerful a light shined in on it, no light ever bounces back because light is swallowed by the hole. A black hole is truly a hole in space. Anything that crosses the edge of the hole, referred to as the horizon, is swallowed forever. For this reason, black holes are considered an edge of space, a so-called one-way door exit from our universe. It is now thought that every galaxy has a giant black hole in its center. The black holes were probably already present when the galaxy itself was formed and may have aided in the galaxy's formation. If this is true, then black holes may play a pivotal role in the formation of conditions in the universe that are essential to life. However, it is hard for us to tell because the very earliest galaxies in the universe cannot be observed with existing telescopes, although that is about to change. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope will be able to glimpse the earliest galaxies in the process of formation. Galaxies whose light will have taken 13 billion years to reach Earth, and the Constellation X mission will observe the giant black holes that live within them. Overall, black holes are one of the world's greatest mysteries, and there is so much more to be discovered about them. Thank you.